Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. So, today we're digging into the film and TV industry.
Oh, good stuff.
Right. And what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You guys wanted the inside scoop, so we've got a crazy stack of articles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Most of them are from Further and Better's TV, Film and Media Industry International News Roundup.
Nice. A classic.
It is a classic, but we've also thrown in a few other interesting pieces.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll be covering everything from post-strike Hollywood, so what's happening after those strikes,
Right.
to some shakeups at film festivals.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, some global trends in filmmaking.
I love that.
And some really interesting projects that are being worked on right now.
Awesome. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So talk a lot.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It is going to be a wild ride.
Yeah.
What's really fascinating to me right now is that we're seeing all these different forces pulling the industry in all these different directions.
Oh, for sure. It's such a dynamic time.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
Yeah.
So let's start with what happened after the Hollywood strikes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
ProdPro is reporting that production is up 18%.
Wow.
But we're not quite back to those 2022 levels yet.
Oh, interesting.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, 18% is a pretty significant rebound.
Right.
But what I'm really watching is where all this production is happening.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely been an increase in films being made in international locations.
Oh, okay.
Like Toronto,
Okay.
the UK, Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought that studios would be really eager to get back to
normal.
business as usual in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Why are executives choosing these international locations over US cities?
Well, for some productions, it might be about finding the perfect backdrop. You know,
right.
for their story.
Mm-hmm.
But for many, it really comes down to money. International locations often offer some really attractive tax incentives.
Oh.
And lower production costs.
Got it.
So, this whole trend of runaway production has been a concern in Hollywood for a while, even though California is trying to compete,
Right.
They're expanding their tax incentive program.
Yeah, it's like a tug of war.
Yeah, totally.
You've got all the history of Hollywood and the infrastructure.
And a legacy.
But then you have the financial incentives and maybe even some fresh creative perspectives that can come from working in different environments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It's going to be it'll be interesting to see how this balance plays out in the next couple of years.
Totally.
Yeah. So this idea of shifting landscapes kind of brings us to Sundance.
Okay.
Which I know you've been following really closely.
Yes.
What was your sense of the festival this year?
Ooh, Sundance.
Yeah.
Well, first, there was that whole piracy issue with Twinless.
Right.
Starring Dylan O'Brien and James Sweeney.
Yeah, huge stars.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I mean, that situation was definitely unexpected.
Okay.
It's kind of ironic,
Yeah.
that despite being pulled from the platform, the film still won awards.
Wow.
Yeah, including the Audience Award for U.S. Dramatic.
Wow.
And a special jury award for O'Brien.
That's so interesting.
But what's even more significant, is that it highlights this growing problem for film festivals.
Okay.
How do you combat piracy in the digital age?
Right.
It's a real challenge.
Yeah.
This wasn't the first time a film was pirated at Sundance.
Right.
Remember Selene y Los Dinos a while back?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a challenge that festivals are just going to have to grapple with more and more.
Totally. And it just kind of added to this feeling that Sundance 2025 was different,
Different, yeah.
There were fewer big budget films, less star power.
Yeah.
And there was this kind of industry fatigue in the air.
Oh, I felt that.
I felt like something was shifting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that fatigue is probably tied to a few things.
Okay.
First, the after effects of the strikes.
Right.
And then you've got all these big corporate mergers happening.
Right.
Which are always a little unsettling for the industry.
Right. Totally.
And of course, we can't forget about the current political climate.
Oh,
So you add all that up, and there's just a lot of uncertainty in the industry.
Yeah. And then on top of all of that, there was the news that really shook things up.
Oh, yeah.
Sundance's contract with Park City
Oh, wow.
is ending in 2026. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Where could it go?
Right. Salt Lake City, Boulder.
Oh, interesting.
Cincinnati.
Whoa, that's a big change.
Yeah.
Sundance has been synonymous with Park City for so long.
I know.
It's hard to imagine it anywhere else.
I know.
But practically speaking,
yeah,
the festival has outgrown its current location.
Yeah.
So moving could be a good opportunity for a fresh start,
Right.
But it'll be really interesting to see how a new location might impact the festival's identity.
Yeah.
And how filmmakers and attendees respond to the change.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, this focus on international locations and all the buzz around Sundance actually connects to some bigger trends that we're seeing in filmmaking right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking specifically about the rise of international co-productions.
Okay.
And the role of festivals like Rotterdam.
Oh, yeah.
Which champion a different kind of cinema.
Yeah. That's a great observation.
Rotterdam really stands out for its commitment to showcasing filmmakers who take risks.
Right.
They specifically highlight experimental cinema, LGBTQ plus stories.
Oh, cool.
And films by artists at risk.
Oh, wow.
Which is really important now because sadly we're seeing a lot of streaming platforms scaling back their support for art house cinema.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So if these streaming platforms are backing away, like where do these filmmakers go?
Right.
How do they get their work funded and seen by people?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Yeah.
One increasingly common path we're seeing is the rise of international co-productions.
Oh.
So, U.S. producers, for example, are increasingly looking to European funding models.
Interesting.
As a way to get their projects off the ground.
Ah, so films like Cape of Pleasures.
Yes.
Which is being presented at Cinemark as it seeks its final co-producer.
Exactly.
Okay.
Cape of Pleasures is a great example of this.
Yeah.
It's a Brazilian French-Portuguese co-production.
Wow.
And they're actively searching for that final partner.
Wow.
To complete the financing.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's a really fascinating new landscape for independent filmmaking.
It really highlights how interconnected the industry is becoming.
It does.
There's so many moving pieces and so many different people coming together to make these films a reality.
It's true. It's like a global puzzle.
It is. It is. And speaking of individuals making waves, Cate Blanchett was at Rotterdam this year.
Oh, nice.
And she made quite an impact.
Okay.
Not just for her work, but also for something that she said.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Her statement really stuck with me.
Okay.
She revealed that she never actually imagined having a film career because she initially believed that women just had limited opportunities in the industry.
That's powerful.
It is, especially coming from someone who's achieved such incredible success.
Right.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even with all her talent and drive, she still faced those early doubts. Yeah. It really highlights the ongoing challenges that women face in the industry.
It does. It's a good reminder of how far we've come.
Right.
But also how much work still needs to be done to create a truly equitable playing field.
Totally. And she wasn't just there to attend the festival.
Right.
She was also there to discuss her upcoming project Rumors.
Oh, cool.
With the director Guy Maddin.
Nice.
And to advocate for the Displacement Film Fund.
Oh, wow.
Which supports filmmakers who have been displaced from their homes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great to see her using her platform to champion important causes.
Absolutely. She's a powerful voice for change.
Yeah.
Between the industry,
So, and now for something completely different. Okay. I read about this Danish Stone Age epic called Stranger.
Stranger? That actually invented entirely new languages for the film.
What?
I know.
That's incredible. How cool is that?
That's amazing.
It's so cool.
So the director, Mads Hedegaard, wanted to create a truly authentic experience.
Okay.
So he brought in a linguist.
Wow.
To develop these unique languages.
Whoa.
They blended elements of Siberian tribal languages with ancient Mayan and Turkish dialects.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And they even created a dictionary and a grammatical structure for the actors to learn.
Whoa. So the actors, Angela Bundelovich and Danica Kurczyk, aren't just speaking gibberish.
No.
They're actually speaking these constructed languages.
Yes. They had to totally immerse themselves in these new languages.
That's crazy.
Hedegaard drew inspiration from films like Apocalypto and The Revenant,
right.
In terms of their commitment to authenticity and historical detail. But he really pushed those boundaries by creating something entirely new.
Wow. So it's not just subtitles. It's like a whole new linguistic world.
It is.
Wow. Do you think audiences are ready for that kind of immersive experience?
I mean, it's definitely a bold choice.
Yeah.
Some might find it challenging, but I think for many,
yeah,
it'll really enhance that sense of immersion and transport them to a time and place.
Yeah.
Unlike anything they've seen before.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It sounds like a film that will really spark a lot of conversation and debate.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is exciting.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
And it just, it highlights those creative risks that some filmmakers are willing to take to tell their stories in unique and compelling ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about the business side of things for a moment.
Right.
There's a lot of buzz around the launch of MIP London.
Ooh.
And get this is its first international edition.
Wow, that's big news.
I know.
MIP London is a major industry event.
It is.
And expanding it internationally is a big move.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars, everyone.
Yes.
It runs from February 23rd to the 27th.
That's so soon.
Yeah.
The event is expecting over 1,600 delegates.
Wow.
From more than 70 countries,
right.
including almost 800 buyers.
That's amazing.
And they're covering a massive range of content.
Wow.
From fiction screenings to digital-first content and unscripted showcases.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And the keynote speakers are definitely going to draw a big crowd.
Who is it?
So Netflix's Bella Bajaria.
Okay.
And wait for it.
Okay.
David Beckham.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's a pretty impressive lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, there will be London editions of MIP formats and MIPDoc running alongside the main event. So for those who don't know, those events are specifically focused on formats and documentaries.
Oh, interesting.
So they offer even more specialized opportunities
wow.
for those working in those areas.
That's amazing. It's incredible how much they're packing into this event.
I know.
Yeah.
It really shows how global the entertainment industry has become. That's does, good. And how these events are evolving to reflect that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about Hollywood anymore. There are so many stories being told.
Yeah.
So many creative partnerships forming and so many new ways to reach audiences.
Yeah, it's an incredibly dynamic time.
It is.
To be following this industry.
Yeah, and we're only just scratching the surface.
Yeah, we are.
So stay tuned because we've got so much more to unpack in this deep dive.
I'm excited.
Yeah. But for now, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and explore some of these individual stories and projects that are making waves right now.
Sounds good.
Right?
Yeah. It's amazing to see this shift,
yeah,
toward a more globally connected industry. Totally. It's not just about the big studios and the festivals anymore.
Right.
It's about these collaborations happening all over the world.
Yeah, and those collaborations are leading to some really interesting projects.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we were just talking about a Stone Age epic with invented languages.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It makes you realize just how much creative energy is out there.
Yeah, totally. And it's not just about those big budget spectacles either.
Right.
There are so many filmmakers working on smaller, more independent projects.
Yeah.
That are pushing boundaries and exploring new ways of storytelling.
Absolutely. And that's what makes events like MIP London so important.
Right.
They provide a platform
yeah.
for those voices to be heard.
Right.
And for those connections to be made.
MIP London isn't just about screenings and deal making. Right. It's about fostering creativity
yeah.
and giving a boost to those projects that might not otherwise get the attention that they deserve.
Mm. It's about the passion projects, the personal stories, the films that might not have, A-list stars or massive marketing budgets.
Yeah.
But they have something, unique and powerful to say.
Totally, totally. It's about the art of storytelling in its purest form.
Exactly.
Speaking of those personal stories, Further and Better has a whole section dedicated to interviews with filmmakers who are making waves right now.
I love that.
It's like getting a glimpse behind the curtain
and
seeing what inspires them.
Yeah, I love those kinds of insights.
Yeah.
It's always so fascinating to hear about a filmmaker's process and what drives them to tell a particular story.
Okay, so one interview that really stood out to me was with Cole Webley, the director of Omaha. The film is about a family dealing with some pretty intense dynamics.
Oh, wow.
And Webley talked about how being a father himself really informed his approach to the story.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that personal connection definitely comes through in the film.
Yeah.
John Magaro and Molly Bell Wright, who were the actors in the film, also spoke about how they tapped into those raw emotions.
Oh, wow.
And how the script resonated with their own experiences.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, and Webley even acknowledged that Omaha might not be for everyone.
Right.
You know, it deals with some tough themes.
Yeah.
But he believes those core themes of family and love will connect with audiences on a deep level.
That's the mark of a filmmaker who's truly passionate about their work, isn't it?
Totally.
They're not afraid to tackle difficult subjects and challenge viewers to think differently.
Yeah.
And then there was this like hilarious interview with the team behind the Ballad of Wallace Island.
Okay.
Carey Mulligan, Tim Key, and Tom Baston.
Okay.
Along with the director James Griffiths.
Nice.
And they talked about how challenging it was to adapt their 2007 short film into a feature.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of film from Omaha.
Okay.
But just as engaging in its own way.
Cool.
They had to find that balance of portraying a superfan who was both endearing and annoying.
Right.
And Mulligan joining the project so soon after giving birth really speaks to her dedication and the collaborative energy on set.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they even talked about how improvisation played a big role in shaping the film's comedic elements.
Oh, that's fun.
It sounds like they had a blast making it.
You can really feel that energy in the film.
Yeah.
It's infectious. And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, there was the interview for Rabbit Trap.
Rabbit Trap.
Which sounds seriously creepy. The director, Bryn Cheney. Producer, Elijah Wood.
Oh, wow.
And the stars, Rosie McEwen and Jade Crute, talked about how the film is rooted in Welsh folklore.
Interesting.
And explores the darker side of nature.
Oh, wow. That's interesting how they're using those ancient stories and traditions to create a modern horror film.
Yeah, it taps into something primal and unsettling.
It does.
Makes you think about those things that lurk just beyond our understanding.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Those mysteries that we can't quite explain.
Those are the kinds of stories that stay with you long after the credits roll.
Totally. And speaking of drawing inspiration from real life, the team behind Love Brooklyn talked about how their own experiences living in Brooklyn shaped the film's narrative.
Oh, cool.
It's always fascinating to see how filmmakers draw from their personal lives to create something universal. Yeah,
it adds a layer of authenticity to the storytelling, doesn't it?
Totally.
It grounds the film in a reality that audiences can connect with.
Absolutely. And then there was that intriguing interview for Sorry Baby. The director called Naomi Ackie, who's the star of the film, The Missing Piece, highlighting how crucial her casting was to the overall story.
Casting can make or break a film.
Right.
And it's clear that Ackie brought something truly special to this project.
Totally. Sometimes it's that one perfect actor who can elevate the entire film.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a reminder that every role, big or small, contributes to the final product.
Absolutely.
And sometimes even the smallest details can have a huge impact.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that interview for Lurker?
Lurker, yeah.
The director, Alex Russell,
playfully
called one of the actors Regina George.
Oh, that's funny.
Which gave us a glimpse into the fun dynamic that they had on set.
Yeah, it's those behind-the-scenes stories that make you realize that filmmaking is such a collaborative art form.
Totally.
And those relationships between the cast and crew can really shine through in the final work.
It's like a family coming together to create something special.
It is.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about about individual films and filmmakers.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out for a minute.
Okay.
And look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Further and Better also included a report on the state of filmmaking in Central and Eastern Europe.
Okay.
And it's a really interesting landscape right now.
Okay.
Production is booming.
Wow.
But those filmmakers face a lot of challenges when competing with countries that have bigger budgets and more established infrastructure.
Right. It's like a David and Goliath situation.
Totally.
But what's so impressive is how those filmmakers are finding these innovative ways to tell their stories, often with very limited resources.
Right.
They're pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
And their work is gaining international recognition.
That's awesome.
It's really inspiring to see how they're overcoming those obstacles and making your voices heard.
Their success is a testament to the power of storytelling.
It is.
Regardless of budget or location.
It's true.
And it speaks to that global shift we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Filmmaking is no longer confined to a few major hubs. Yeah. It's happening everywhere.
It is.
Speaking of that global reach.
Yeah.
There's news about a new genre thriller.
Ooh, okay.
It's called Sphere.
Sphere.
Which is a collaboration
between
Neo Art International, Rabagast Film, and Drama Sfecia.
Whoa, that's a lot of collaborating.
I know, it's very cool.
Yeah.
The plot sounds amazing.
What's it about?
So it follows Swado,
who's
a rising basketball star,
whose
life takes a dark turn.
Oh.
When success comes at a disturbing cost.
Oh wow, interesting.
It's a classic tale of ambition and the price of fame.
Yeah.
But with a unique Scandinavian twist.
Oh, I love that.
And this collaboration with NeoArt is significant because they've been expanding into co-productions.
Cool.
Which signals their commitment to supporting diverse voices and stories.
It's exciting to see companies like NeoArt stepping up and championing these projects.
Totally. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah.
From post-strike Hollywood and shifting festival landscapes to international collaborations. And the stories behind some really fascinating films.
Right.
It's clear that the entertainment industry is constantly evolving.
It is.
What do you think is the most significant takeaway from all of this?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's the incredible diversity of stories being told.
Yeah.
And the increasing globalization of the industry.
Yeah.
We're seeing filmmakers from all over the world finding new ways to connect with audiences.
Totally.
And share their unique perspectives.
And it's not just about where these stories are coming from, but also how they're being told.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of experimentation with genre, form, and even language.
Right.
Filmmakers are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Totally.
And it's a really exciting time to be a film lover.
It is. It feels like there's a real sense of possibility in the air.
Yeah. And that sense of possibility is something we want you, our deep diving listener, to take away from this conversation.
Absolutely.
You've now got a glimpse behind the curtain of the entertainment industry.
Yes.
You've heard about the challenges, the triumphs, and the incredible creative energy that's driving this global movement.
It's true.
And as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, we want to leave you with something to ponder. We've seen how the industry is shifting toward international productions and how festivals are playing a crucial role in showcasing these stories.
Right.
But what does this all mean for the future of film and television?
That's a great question. And one that we'll explore further when we come back for the final part of this deep dive.
So stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned.
We'll be right back to wrap things up and share some final thoughts.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how the film and TV industry is becoming more global and how that might shape the kinds of stories we see in the future.
Yeah, it's a question worth thinking about. As these trends continue, will we see even more cross-cultural collaborations,
right?
A wider range of voices and perspectives represented, and perhaps a blending of genres and styles that we haven't even imagined yet.
That's so exciting to think about.
It is.
I mean, just look at how much the industry has already changed in just the past few years.
Oh, absolutely.
These streaming platforms have completely revolutionized how we consume content.
Yeah.
And social media has given filmmakers these new ways to connect with audiences.
Right.
And build buzz for their projects.
Oh, for sure.
And those shifts have also created new challenges, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
We talked about the rise of piracy and the struggles that art house cinema is facing.
As streaming platforms prioritize more commercial content.
Yeah, it's a very complex landscape.
It is.
But it's also one that's full of opportunity.
Yeah, I think for anyone who's passionate about film and TV, it's a really fascinating time to be following these trends and seeing how they play out.
Absolutely.
So we hope this deep dive has given you, our listener, a better understanding of those trends and what they might mean for the future of storytelling.
Absolutely.
We've explored a lot of ground today, from the business side of the industry to the creative forces behind some really captivating projects.
Good and fun.
Yeah, we've talked about international co-productions, the challenges facing festivals, and the importance of supporting diverse voices.
Yes, very important.
As you process all this information, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Right.
Think about the power of storytelling. Think about the ways in which film and television can connect us, challenge us, and inspire us.
Absolutely.
And think about the role you play as a viewer in shaping the future of this incredible industry.
Your choices matter.
They do.
The films you watch, the shows you stream, the festivals you attend.
Yeah.
They all send a message about the kinds of stories you want to see more of.
That's a really good point.
So be an active participant in this conversation.
Yes.
Seek out diverse voices, support independent filmmakers, and be open to new experiences.
Totally. And if you're feeling really inspired, maybe even pick up a camera and tell your own story.
Why not?
You never know where it might lead you.
The world needs more stories.
Yeah.
And who knows, yours might be the one that changes everything.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So that's it for our deep dive into the film and TV industry.
It's been a journey.
It has. It has. We hope you enjoyed this exploration as much as we did.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And remember, you can find links to all the articles that we discussed in the show notes.
Yeah.
So be sure to check those out if you want to delve deeper into any of the topics we covered.
Yeah. Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And as always, keep those minds curious, those hearts open, and those screams ready for the next wave of incredible stories.
Happy watching, everyone.